Okay guys, I'm back. We are just getting ready to start wave 15. Everything's been holding up good. Haven't got any damage to the crystal yet. And you can see everything's upgraded and good to go. So I'm going to give you a little bit of gameplay here for this wave. As you can see, I've switched to the Apprentice Guardian. I'd say it's one of the most useful pets in the game, especially for in-game stuff. It doesn't do any DPS, but what it does is it boosts your defenses. Mine will affect 5, and I think, yep, it gives it takes an extra 10% off my strength drain. Mine's right now at a 20 boost, I believe. Let me take a look here. Yep, it's at 20 boost. And there are stronger ones out there, but this is just a halfway decent one. But every once in a while I just shoot just because I get bored. But yeah, what's nice about this is it boosts the electric aura, the snare, the strength drain and all that, so definitely handy. There's too much as far as traps up there, so it doesn't really boost the traps. I think it boosts, it'll alternate between these 2 back traps and then the 3 auras here, I think. Depending on what you're standing next to, it switches around. You really can't tell it to boost one thing over another. So pretty much this is it. As you can see, the mobs that are coming down those stairs, it's keeping that pretty clear and not really having any issues. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Might possibly add wave like 25 to this as well. We'll see. Another thing you guys can do, for those of you that also have game controllers, something I would suggest you doing is dual logging characters. Now, if you have a PS3 controller, Xbox 360 that you can hook up to your PC, or any decent generic controller, what you can do is have it emulate, and I'll put a link to in the description to show you how to do that. And what you do is you trick it into thinking it's a Xbox 360 controller, and then you can log 2 of your characters on at a time. So it's pretty cool. What you can do with that is you log in one of your other characters, and I would suggest a character with decent health, like a Squire or something. And what I do for the higher waves is I log that character on, give them the Apprentice Guardian, the one I'm using right now, and then I'll run this character or another one of my DPS characters with a DPS pet. I personally like the chicken for a DPS pet because it knocks characters back. So if you stand here, and when after 20 or so, you get an insane amount of ninjas running at you sometimes. Sometimes you'll have 5 to 8 ninjas rushing you. What's nice about that is you have your character, your alternate character logged in, standing right about here, so you can boost everything. And then you're standing in the same area. Well, the chicken will knock the mobs back away from you, and it does pretty good DPS. So I just stand here. And another benefit to having 2 characters in the game is it'll also give you different types of loot. So like log in a Squire, you'll get Squire weapons as well. So it allows you to farm gear for more than one team at a time. So it's pretty cool. So you get the added benefit of the additional loot and the buff pet. You can run whatever you want. Now if you even wanted to buff it further, you could run 2 different Guardians. You could run your Apprentice Guardian, maybe a Monk Guardian. That would make your auras way bigger up front. So the electric aura would clear up, up halfway up there, I think, depending on the strength of your Guardians. Or you could switch to a Hunter Guardian, and the Hunter Guardian would boost it up to boost the attack speed. So that's pretty cool as well. Now the reason I like the Apprentice, like I was talking earlier, the overcharge ability is really, really nice. For getting stuff repaired quick. You really don't have to worry about the stuff in the back too much. Maybe once or twice a wave after you get after 20, but unless something goes wrong, you really don't have to repair the back in the waves, but I always check it anyway. Sometimes these sides, depending on how they spawn, being that this is mixed mode, it's not going to be the same type of spawns each wave. Sometimes you'll have a way more characters spawning on one side than the other. And the way the auras work is the more mobs that go through it, the quicker it wears down. So sometimes you will have to repair these side ones, the auras, but you'll hardly ever have to repair the Infernos, maybe once every 3-4 waves because they last so long and have pretty decent charges. So what I do is I normally let the front proximities get down to about 100 or so, and then I run in and repair them. And I'll try to get them up there a ways. With overcharge, it's pretty quick, so it's not a big deal. And since you're standing in the strength drain anyway, it's not really an issue. So then I just stand back here and be bored, really. With this setup, I can pretty much AFK as far as not having to really DPS until 20 or so. That's when I actually start having to kill ninjas and stuff. Actually, with my gear, I can wait till about 22, 23. You know, with the exception of killing the ninjas that actually get to me. But after that point, and you'll probably have to start around 20. I normally stand right about here, and I just, you know, DPS whatever comes over there, DPS whatever comes over there. You want to make sure you don't get much of a build up here, because that's when the orcs and stuff start glitching through the walls. So you'll have to watch for that as well. So, as you can see, with the exception of the strength drain aura here and the proximities, I haven't had to do anything. It's real easy. I always check the map to see if something is starting to go down. Looks like we got a little bit of damage on the lightning aura there at the top of the map. You can tell by looking at it if it starts getting a little red, so then I'll go over and look. It looks like it's down by a little bit, so not bad, not low enough for me to repair yet. So those front proximities go down pretty quick. I just repaired them. I've already gone down by about 40 charges. So, but yeah, real easy build. This is the strongest build I've ever found or tried for this map, and I've shown it to a few friends, and they really like it, and it's been working good for them as well. So I must say, I was quite tickled pink when I figured out this build and how well it works. So I like the fact with as long as these survival maps go and take, I love the fact that I can sit here and watch a movie and just repair every now and then, like clear up to 20-some levels. So it definitely makes it seem to go a lot quicker. The fastest I've got this completely done, all 25 waves, is about 4 hours. So with about 4 hours of combat with, I believe, about 40 minutes of build time, and that's mainly just due to checking loot. So, but yeah, pretty much what I'll do is, you know, when I do need repairs, all you do is you pop overcharge. Normally you have enough mana not to have to worry about it, and sometimes you'll get swarmed, you gotta kill some stuff. But if you're quick about it, it only takes a couple seconds to repair the traps. So, and being that you are in the strength drain, they don't do that much damage to you. So, of course I'm getting interrupted like crazy right now. Normally it's not that big of an issue, but the way the spawns work for the ninjas is it's kind of sporadic. Sometimes you'll get a whole bunch and then you won't have another for 5 minutes, or not necessarily another, but another swarm of them that come in waves. So it's pretty easy. You just sit here and watch the map kill everybody. So pretty cool. Another nice thing about overcharge, you can heal yourself up pretty quick. I would suggest for whichever character you're going to use for DPS is to get your resistances up pretty good. At minimum, try to get your physical resistance up to 70 or 80. That will help you out on a lot of other maps as well. But with 80 resist plus sitting in the strength drain with an App Guardian, they're gonna have a really hard time killing you. So I think this guy's got about 88 resist, and just some of the best. Fire seems to be the most common that you run it across, so I like to try to keep these fairly high. But and these are, you know, 30-ish upgrade gear, nothing too spectacular. So pretty easy to get up there. So you want to try to start off with some starting gear of at least, I would shoot for no less than 10% base resist in your physical, and decent hero damage and health for a DPS character. Anything in addition to that, you know, say if you're hunter, you want a decent pierce shot as well. So it's not always just pure hero damage. So, but looks like the back one. Sometimes I'll run up here and repair the snare or the strength drain here in the back. But I try not to stay in the back area very much, because what will happen is when you go in the back, the mobs spawning on the sides will kind of sense that you're there and start running over to that side of the map. So stay towards the front, it'll be pretty easy. So, but again, you could use the female apprentice version and do okay. They don't have overcharge, but they do have the instant upgrade ability, which when everything's upgraded all the way, it's use the instant repair and it costs more mana. But the problem with that, yeah, it's good for repairing, but it does not help your healing at all, which sometimes when you go up here, if you get mobbed pretty good, they knock you out of the strength drain up front. If you don't have an ability to heal, you're going to die. And especially if you only have one character logged in at the time, during that time you're respawning, these ninjas can go haywire on your defenses if you're not careful. So that's another really big bonus to having an extra character logged into the game. If you keep them up here in the forge, keep lagging. If you keep them up here at the forge, they're kind of bait, and it takes the ninjas quite a bit. They have to run through a lot of damage to get to your guys. So, and another nice thing is, even if they get to me and are wailing on me, I can just stand here, because eventually those proxies are going to blow up. They reset every, I think, 3.5 seconds or so, and they do a fair amount of AoE damage. So, never mind, not too big of an issue. Plus, they're sitting here in the lightning as well. So, like this guy, I'll just stand here. Oh, there he goes. With the App Guardian, my electric auras are doing 5,000 a tick. Pretty cool. The guy I prefer to log on for my alternate character is my monk. It's pretty cool because he has his 2 auras, which his stats on his character are pretty lame, but he has decent health. He has about 4,000 health on the monk. And what's cool about that is he can stand here, then I can alternate running his hero boost and his tower boost. And with the tower boost, it'll bump it up a little bit. It's definitely not as good as the App Guardian, which increases about 3 times as much damage. What it does is it'll give an extra 300 per tick on my electro auras, and I'm not sure if it really increases traps. I haven't really noticed any big difference, but I didn't turn it on and off and really look. But it's not a big boost, but the main nice thing about the hero boost is it'll heal your auras. So that's pretty handy. And, you know, he just sits there and collects mana as the ninjas blow up next to him, so it's pretty cool. But you can swap in whatever character you want, but normally I wasn't doing anything with my alternate characters. I was just logging them in to run the buff pet, but once I figured out the hotkeys on the controller to run my hero abilities, it made it pretty cool. It was just the D-pad button, so I just set it on my lap and hit it every now and again, and it works pretty well. So, but now we're winding down. There's not very mobs left. Pretty much at the end of each wave, they come from the north. Not sure really the reason for that. So, fortunately, they're stopping just inside their spawn. Sometimes they'll spawn so many of them, they get stuck. It's like you get like 3 guys trying to run through the door at the same time, and they get stuck. It's kind of what happens with these guys. Eventually, one of them will pop out, and then it'll break up the traffic jam, and then they'll just run out and start dying. But every once in a while, they just kind of get stuck there. It's really weird. And it only really happens with the big guys. Littler guys don't seem to get stuck as much. So, yeah. purple area. As soon as you guys pop out. There we go. Alright, so that was it. That was wave 15. It gets harder on wave 10, 15, and 20. So what I'll do is I'll try to run wave 20 as well, maybe with my alternate character in here, and then show you what it looks like at that point. Pretty much the only decent loot is going to drop on wave pretty much 14 and up if you're looking for decent gear. You can every once in a while find decent armor on wave like 12 plus, but it's only maybe 1 or 2 pieces a run or a wave, and they might be like 35 upgrades where the stats tend to be a lot better as you go up. So alright, well I will let you go.